There's basically two types of insurances out there for businesses. So the first type would be a business owner's policy, or more commonly known as a BOP policy. And that basically packages together a bunch of coverages that the business would need in general. It's more like a general home policy, so you don't have to worry about, is this covered, is this covered? So a lot of small businesses would fall in line with getting a business owner's policy. It makes it really easy, and it's really a seamless process once we get your information to do a business owner's policy. So the second type of policy is a commercial package policy, or called a CPP. And basically that's kind of like a build your own policy. That's for a little bit larger of a small business, to really get in there and work with the rep and see exactly what do I need. So those are a little bit more specific, and we usually see those for, like I said, larger small businesses out there. There's also a lot around the Illinois work comp laws that are very stringent in Illinois, and so getting a workers' compensation policy, if you do have any employees, is always a good idea to get and have, because of those work comp laws being so strict. There's also some professional liability that's offered. So if you have any type of professional designation or anything like that, getting something that would cover you professionally in addition to your property and your liability is always a good idea. So there's anywhere from attorneys, doctors, to mechanics, beauticians, land surveyors, anything like that would be someone who would want to look at professional liability to cover them in that aspect. Well, I always say the best thing to look for is local representation. There's a lot of insurance companies out there, and some are based in California, in Colorado, in wherever, but looking for a company that has a company in Illinois that has local claims adjusters that are able to work with you locally, and a local representative that's there for you. I think that's really important in a small business, because that gives you a lot more guidance and a lot more being able to be in touch with someone constantly that's right there with you and that knows your business. Well, as soon as you have the idea, I think it's best to call and talk to somebody about it. So we always say that if you have a business plan and you've got a solid business plan in place, we can give you a quote on that pretty quickly, and most places should be able to do that for you. If you have an idea, call them, say, hey, this is my idea, this is what I've got going on. And then we'll say, let's get a business plan together, get it to me, and we'll get you a quote. Insurance companies don't like people and businesses coming in after they've started their business and they're on track, because they're looked at as an uninsurable interest because they've not had insurance during that time. So definitely, as soon as you have the idea and you know what you're going to be doing, getting that from the ground up and starting that right away is the best plan. Well, I always say that really reevaluating your policy yearly is the best way to go about it. I know it does take some time to sit down with somebody and do that, but like your liability coverage is either based on your annual sales or your estimated payroll, which that changes yearly. And so you really need to be able to make those changes yearly so that you're not charged extra, or make sure you're paying enough so you don't get stuck with a big bill at the end of the year. Especially if you're building a new building, or if you've made a large purchase for your company, that's something that you can always reevaluate at any time. But my recommendation would be yearly to sit down and do that, just so you make sure you've got all the numbers right and you're being charged accordingly. It shouldn't be more than 5 to 7 days, depending on the type of policy. Like I mentioned, if you're getting a business owner's policy, those usually can be done in-house by your representative, and so those should take maybe 2 to 3 days. If you're looking at maybe a larger business with a commercial package policy, You may have to send that off to an underwriter, which could take about 7 days or so, but it should be a fairly quick turnaround for you to be able to get that idea. Probably the best piece of advice I would give would be to start early. Contact the company early, let them know what you're doing, and let them know kind of what's going on with your business. Have a local person that you can talk to that is there for you, that knows your business. So if you're already in business, you have some questions, they're available for you to talk to them at any time. If you're just starting out, they're gonna ask you a bunch of questions about what you're doing and how things are going. But I say reach out as early as you can just to let you know kind of what's going on, and just checking in with them regularly to make sure you're on track with your goals, with your company goals, and with the insurance goals that you have.